All right, let's talk about one of Greek mythology's most incredible and honestly, most tragic stories. We're going to dive into the legend of a hero named Bellerophon. His story is just this wild ride of unbelievable triumphs and, well, an absolutely devastating fall.
So think about it for a second. Who was the hero that actually tamed the winged horse, Pegasus? Who slayed the fire-breathing chimera, a monster right out of a nightmare? It was Bellerophon. And yet, when we list the great Greek heroes, Heracles, Perseus, Achilles, his name often gets left out. How does a hero with a resume like that become almost a footnote? That's what we're going to figure out.
So, first things first, to really understand Bellerophon, you've got to know when he was a hero. We're talking about an older generation here. He was one of the original monster slayers.
I mean, just look at the company he was keeping. Cadmus, the guy who founded the city of Thebes. Perseus, the hero who took down Medusa. Bellerophon was considered their equal. This was before Heracles and his 12 laborers came along and just dominated the whole scene. So, let's be clear. This guy was an A-lister, the real deal.
So, how does a hero this great start his epic journey? You might think it's some noble quest, right? Nope. It all kicks off with a tragic accident, a betrayal, and a lie that basically amounts to a death sentence.
And get this, even his name tells a story. He wasn't born Bellerophon. His name was Hippones. He got the name Bellerophon, which means slayer of Belleros, after he accidentally killed a nobleman. That name became a constant reminder of his crime, forcing him into exile to try and purify himself.
And this is where it all goes wrong. He goes to King Protus for help, but the king's wife, Stenoboa, wants him. He, being a good guy, rejects her. So what does she do? She completely flips the story and accuses him of trying to assault her. Now King Protus is in a tight spot. Because of the sacred law of hospitality, xenia, he can't just kill a guest in his own home. It was a huge taboo, so he gets sneaky. He sends Bellerophon on a trip to another king, carrying a sealed letter. And the message inside?
So this death sentence is cleverly disguised as an impossible quest. But for Bellerophon to have any chance of survival, he's going to need an ally just as impossible as the mission itself.
Right, so King Iobates reads the letter and thinks, perfect, I'll send him to fight the chimera. He figures the monster will do the dirty work for him. Bellerophon knows that fighting this thing on foot is just a suicide mission. He has to get airborne. He needs Pegasus. Just one tiny problem. Pegasus is a divine, wild creature that no mortal has ever ridden. But this is where the gods decide to step in. The goddess Athena sees that Bellerophon is, for now, on the right side of things. So she visits him in a dream, gives him some instructions, and leaves behind something very real, a magical golden bridle. This is the key, the one and only thing that could ever hope to tame the winged horse. And this just shows you how crucial having the gods on your side was in these stories. Bellerophon does exactly what Athena told him to. He finds Pegasus drinking at a special spring, and with that golden bridle, he does the impossible. He actually tames Pegasus. Just like that, his death sentence is transformed into the beginning of his legend.
Okay, so now he's got a divine ride. Bellerophon is ready to face the creature that was supposed to kill him. And let me tell you, this is one of the most terrifying monsters in all of mythology. The chimera is just a walking nightmare. It's got the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and a venomous serpent for a tail. As if that wasn't bad enough, oh yeah, it also breathes fire. This isn't just some animal, it's a living, breathing catastrophe. So, how on earth do you fight that? You can't just charge at it. You can't outrun its fire. Bellerophon knew he had to outthink it, and his plan is just pure genius. It's as much about clever strategy as it is about courage. See, he doesn't just circle around throwing spears from far away. He gets on Pegasus and flies straight into the face of the beast, right at its fire-breathing mouth. And then he shoves a spear with a big block of lead on the tip right down its throat. The chimera's own fire then becomes its downfall. The flames melt the lead, which blocks its airway, and the monster suffocates on its own weapon. Brilliant, right? Now, you'd think slaying an unkillable monster would be enough, wouldn't you? But King Iobates is just shocked. He still wants this guy gone, so he keeps throwing these impossible tasks at him.
Go defeat this entire tribe of warriors. Okay, now go fight the legendary Amazons. Still alive? Fine. Survive an ambush by my own best soldiers. And Bellerophon on the back of Pegasus just beats them all. At this point, Iobates is just dumbfounded. He finally shows Bellerophon the letter and realizes, okay, this man isn't cursed, he's clearly being protected by the gods. He does a total 180. He gives Bellerophon his daughter's hand in marriage and makes him the heir to his kingdom. Bellerophon went from an exiled outcast to a celebrated hero and prince. He is at the absolute top of his game. And whenever you see a mortal hero reach that kind of peak in a Greek myth, you should always, always be listening for one word: hubris. It's that deadly pride, that dangerous overconfidence that starts to make you think you're not just a human anymore. And for Bellerophon, it's about to ruin everything. This is where the story shifts. It becomes a classic cautionary tale. It's no longer about a hero fighting monsters. It's about a man fighting his own ego, and a battle he's destined to lose. Bellerophon started to believe his own hype. I mean, think about it. He tamed Pegasus, he killed the Chimera, he defeated entire armies. In his mind, these weren't just the achievements of a mortal who got some help from the gods. No, he started to see them as the acts of a god himself. And if he was a god, well, then he belonged with the others. So he makes this final, fatal error in judgment. He hops on Pegasus and decides to just fly up to Mount Olympus. He was going to claim his seat among the immortals. This goes so far beyond arrogance. This was a direct challenge to the cosmic order, a slap in the face to Zeus himself. So how does Zeus, the king of all gods, respond to this outrageous act? A lightning bolt? A massive storm? No. Zeus's response is so simple it's almost insulting. He sends a single gadfly, basically a horsefly, to sting Pegasus. The horse goes crazy from the pain, bucks wildly, and Bellerophon is thrown from the sky, plummeting back down to earth. And he doesn't die. The gods had a much crueler punishment in mind. He survives the fall, but he's left crippled, blinded, and utterly alone. The greatest hero of his age spends the rest of his life as a wretched outcast, hated by the gods, wandering the earth just consumed by his own regret and bitterness. And really, that's the heart of his entire story. Bellerophon could defeat the monstrous Chimera. He was worthy enough to earn the help of a goddess. But he could not defeat the pride that was growing inside his own soul. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What is the most dangerous enemy a hero will ever truly face?